my channel. Today I'm going to be filming another video with Nurses.co.uk as part of my nursing student series. Today I'm going to be filming a really interesting video, and that's going to be a top 6 facts that you wouldn't expect about nursing, and some of these are like actually cool facts that even I didn't know, but hopefully you guys will find it interesting. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, subscribe down below, and of course subscribe to Nurses.co.uk for more videos from people like me and other student nurses as well. So the first one is a fact that actually I didn't know until today, and that is that nurses actually do a 5k every time they do a 12-hour shift, and that's equivalent to 4 miles compared to the average person, which does like 2.5 miles. And that is crazy, and I really hope that I do 4 miles every shift that I do, because at the moment I started my placement this week and my feet have been absolutely killing, and at the place that I'm doing my placement on, they don't have anywhere to sit. Like, it's literally designed like that, so you need really good and expensive shoes. At least I'll be fit as a fiddle after my placement's done. Fact number 2 is that it's really difficult, and a lot of people think that it's really not that difficult and it's not that hard to get into and everything, but it's actually a really hard degree, and a lot of people drop out because they just simply can't handle it anymore, or they just didn't think that it was what they thought it would be, basically. And it's really hard. Literally one day you could be learning about the anatomy and physiology of the body, and then the next day you could be like teaching yourself how to communicate with every professional ever. People like doctors and physiotherapists, occupational therapists, dietitians, all these really intimidating people that you've never even met before, especially like before. I had never been in a hospital before my placement in first year, and honestly as soon as I got in hospital I was like, oh my god, this is so scary, and it's so hard as well. Like, if you don't know the environment, it's gonna take you like so much longer to get used to it and actually learn things as well. A lot of different professionals have so many different expectations from you. Some will think that you literally know everything in the world, and then other people will think that you literally don't know anything. So it's really difficult to kind of grasp that, and you could literally be dealing with like a really difficult family, or a really lovely family, or a really difficult patient, etc. There's so many things that you learn, and it's just so difficult to all get used to, and there's so many things that you need to know, and like I said, different people have different expectations from you, and it's crazy. I find it to be like a constant like whirlwind of like ups and downs and doubts and just everything, really. Third unexpected fact is that actually some people that we meet are just really not nice. Even people that you would expect to be really nice, like other nurses or like doctors, can sometimes be like the most hostile people ever, for no reason whatsoever either. And I'm sure that in every profession there's always somebody that is not very nice, and I say to myself, every placement I will experience someone that is just difficult for no reason whatsoever, and I'll never know why, or you know, anything like that, and it's just really hard to get used to those kind of people and know what it's like. And especially sometimes mentors can be really useless. I haven't actually had any horrible mentors yet, fingers crossed, I don't want to jinx it, but some people, like other mentors on the ward and other nurses, some people can just be like really horrible and just really useless. Like, not everyone wants a student nurse following them around all day that they have to sit there and constantly keep an eye on and answer questions to, and sometimes it can be really hard to learn and kind of know your place, especially on like wards and in hospitals and everything. Number 4 is that only 3 in 5 nurses actually work in hospitals. So that means that 2 in 5 nurses actually work in the community, so such as district nurses, or like nurses in care homes, or nurses at hospices. It would be really surprising if you was to tell me that before I started the degree, because before I started the degree I had such an image kind of like nurses, and I always used to think that they would like work in a hospital and everything, but actually they don't. And it's quite common for nurses to not work in a hospital. Number 5 is that it's nothing like TV. Not one bit. The TV is so filtered out. They will usually show the most dramatic thing that's going on, and they probably won't always show the hard work that some people actually go to looking after a patient. It's very nursing based. When someone's in hospital, it is very nursing based. The doctors are the ones that obviously do all the prescribing, and they do like the rounds and everything, but the care is predominantly from the nurse. And sometimes I feel like on TV they kind of portray it like the nurse is just kind of like the assistant, and they just, you know, run around after the doctors and run around after doing like everything that the patients say and everything. And on the other hand, it makes it so that the job seems really, really easy and happy all the time, and just like you do this to the patient and then they're all better and they're going home, and they'll show like all of the good things that happen, or just all of the dramatic things that happen really, and it's just completely different. And usually on TV they'll show hospitals, so that kind of gives everyone the idea that like all hospitals are working, all nurses are working in hospitals, which the last fact obviously stated is not true. And it just gives a very specific persona to nurses, and in my course a lot of people have actually quit because they just didn't think that it was going to be this way really. Sometimes it can be negative and sometimes it can be positive. For me, I kind of think it's a positive thing because I feel like nurses have so much more responsibility and they make much more of an impact than I expected they did, so actually it's a positive for me. Sometimes as well they can just do things, they just show like small little snippets of what the nurses actually do, and they don't show everything else that goes on, like all the intricate stuff and the paperwork and the liaising with professionals, just all the knowledge behind it. Like it just looks completely different really. So yeah, I think I've said everything that I want to for this video. Those were my most interesting facts that I have witnessed, and some again I didn't know myself. And I hope you liked the video, and I hoped it was interesting. So yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos soon. And yes, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!